But we're back. All right. So I'll do a quick recap of what I was talking about for people that may be jumping in. I was talking about this incident with Macron and his wife, and how feminine liberal leaders are around the world is what we were talking about. I mean, look at what's going on right now with, you look at Macron, who's obviously abused by his wife. I mean, my goodness, my wife's never done anything like that to me. Been married a long time. That is a very, very bad thing that happened there. How can he govern his country as a leader and be seen like that in public? Could you imagine if there was video of Melania doing that to President Trump on Air Force One at the door? What would happen? What would happen? Right? The press would have meltdowns. They would be talking about 25th Amendment. They'd be talking about impeachment. They'd be talking about resigning. They would be, it would be just insane. Okay. If that was Melania doing that to Trump. And they'd be right to be upset about it. Now, we know, of course, that would never happen. But Macron is not alone. This is how it is for these so-called liberal male leaders. I mean, look at Biden. I got a sneeze coming on. Hold on, guys. Okay. I had the air conditioner blowing in my face. The last 4 years with Biden, look what was going on. Biden is a victim of elder abuse from his wife, right? 4 years in the White House of elder abuse of Joe Biden by his wife. Macron getting slapped around by his wife. Michelle Obama has started an entire podcast just to trash her husband, Barack Obama. I mean, these liberal leaders got a lot of problems, and a lot of it is they're not masculine, and I know to a lot of leftists and the wokesters, they think, what do they call it? The term's died off now. Toxic masculinity, right? Toxic masculinity. Well, there's negative masculinity with Macron. What an embarrassment. Luxembourg, welcome. If you're new to my channel, this is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure that you subscribe, okay? So that's, Macron should resign. He should resign. How can you govern a country if you are a victim of spousal abuse? And that's not a one-off kind of thing. Someone who does that in public like she did, that was very casual on her part. My guess would be that's normal. That's a weekly or every day or multiple times a week kind of thing. That's not the kind of thing that a wife does to her husband just once. And I'm wondering what caused that. Did he do just how she is? Jimmy Mack says, Generation X has the last of the testosterone. Yes, I would agree. I would agree with that. Hello to all of you. Absolutely. So that's one thing. And, did you guys see the president today at Arlington? That was absolutely amazing. We got to see General Raisin Kane at Arlington today with the president. I didn't realize Raisin Kane was an Air Force general. I thought he was a Army or Marine general. I didn't realize he was Air Force. Did you guys know Raisin Kane was Air Force? I had no idea. But things are getting really bad with Russia and Ukraine. I mean, what's going on with Russia and Ukraine right now could get very, very out of control. Right now, there's a lot of death and destruction going on, and it's god awful. That's what President Trump tells us. But it looks to me like we're at the beginning of a major escalation. I mean, there's an escalation going on, but it looks like the beginning of a big escalation. And I didn't see any updates today on this assassination attempt on Putin. So I don't even know if that's true. It could 50-50 whether that assassination attempt is true, right? I mean, just don't know. It could be Putin, he's trying to find a justification to escalate against Ukraine. But I was thinking if that story's true, right? What did they tell us? That Ukrainian drones attacked Putin's helicopter. Well, if those are Ukrainian drones, aren't they really American drones that we gave them? Wouldn't that be more accurate? And it seems to me that if Zelensky had used American drones to try to bring down Putin's helicopter with him in it, that Trump would be pissed off and we'd be hearing about it. So I'm suspect that happened. But like I said, it's 50-50. You never know with the Russians. You never know, right? Because they're propagandists. Exactly. What would be don't you think that President Trump would be talking about him, Zelensky using American drones for something that he shouldn't be using them for? I would think he would. But that, I could be wrong. Kamala 2028 for what? Rehab? A 28-day alcohol rehab? Yeah. No, you can't trust Zelensky or Putin. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Well, the United States, we have a law. It is illegal for the United States to assassinate foreign heads of state. Even more time, it's against the laws. It's not allowed. And if Zelensky did that, he would be using our weapons to do it. It would be a big deal. The country, the press, the White House, the Pentagon, they'd be going off about it, I would think. It's a big violation of U.S. law to do something like that, and it would cause a lot of outrage. And the media would use it against Trump and try to blame Trump for it. Yeah, we need to be out. Let Ukraine and Russia figure it out on their own. We're not the only country giving them equipment, but the NATO countries, most of their equipment is ours. Right? So, it's a mess. It's a mess. Well, because AC, we're involved in it, thanks to Biden. Right? No, actually, I got this for nothing. No. You think I'd pay $8 for iced tea? Are you kidding? Nope. I can't imagine any American with half a brain not approving of what Trump's doing. Everything Trump is doing is it's not just America first, it's American first. Right? When have we had a president of the United States that everything they were doing was for the American people? Everything. Even Ronald Reagan, defeating the Soviet Union, that helped Europe more than us. Right? That was really more for Europe and a few other places around the world. What everything Trump is doing is a direct benefit to the American people first. Everything. Everything. Well, the problem is if it escalates, Europe is going to help escalate it because the NATO countries want World War III going on. Right? And that will drag us into it because of the NATO alliance. There's a definite move to try to escalate the Russian-Ukrainian war. Oh, yeah. I mean, I was talking on the live stream this morning. Out of all the players, the only person who wants the war to end is Trump, right? Putin doesn't want to end it. Zelensky doesn't want to end it. NATO doesn't want to end it. The Democrats don't want to end it. The Bush Republican, never Trumper Republicans don't want to end it. And the military-industrial complex don't want to end it, right? So, they've made this move to try to expand the war. It's obvious. It's what they're doing. And they're it's very dangerous what they're doing. Very dangerous. I mean, luckily we have Trump. He'll handle it, but what that means, I don't know. Trump and JD and Marco Rubio have all said that Trump is ready to have the United States just walk away from the whole situation. And that seems like a pretty smart idea. Look at what's going on there now. And all of you out there on the left, you wokesters who say that Trump's in with Putin, he's called him crazy. Does it sound like Trump's in with Putin when he's calling him crazy? Walk away from Ukraine and NATO. What are we getting out of NATO? What are we getting out of NATO right now? Nothing. NATO's sucking off of us. They're not paying their dues. Their countries have tiny militaries because they know, well, they assume we'll protect them. I don't know. How did we benefit from the USSR falling? I don't know. I don't think there was any threat by the Soviet Union to the United States. The Soviet Union was a third world country. No threat to us. Cold War was complete BS. Okay? Complete BS. Okay, what school do you want me to go to? One of those liberal schools with a blue-haired teacher who's going to tell me about preferred pronouns and critical race theory? I don't think so. The Soviet Union was a third world country on the verge of collapse. They were no threat to the United States. None. None. The Ukraine-Russian war is a civil war. Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union. It's a civil war. None of our business. When we had our civil war, countries around the world didn't help us. They didn't get involved. They left it to our own during our civil war. So I call the civil war the Democrat insurrection against the federal government. France, now you got your wars mixed up. France gave us weapons during the American Revolution, not the Civil War. And they only did that to screw the Brits. No one gave us help during the Civil War. Europe stayed out of it. You're the one that needs to read the history book. Or watch Schoolhouse Rock at least. It was great to see the president. A great speech today by the president. But this incident of the abuse of Macron by his wife, I already am seeing on X right before I started the stream. There's a pattern of this, and people are starting to post things that have happened with the two of them that I didn't know. I don't follow Macron too much. I know a lot of people do. I'm not, but how could you not follow what happened to him on that plane? And apparently, there's a history of him being abused. Oh, I could not imagine my wife doing that to me. Hitting me in the face with both hands, or even one hand. Oh, my goodness. France is lost. She's a little older. She's a lot older. She's like 20, how many years older than him? 26 years older or so. There's a big age difference. For her to do that, you know, obviously they didn't mean to, she didn't mean for it to happen on television because the cameras caught it. But on the plane, there's a lot of people on the plane, so it wasn't in private. I haven't heard Candace Owens talk about physical abuse. Slay Queen, why would you not support President Trump? Are you an American? I understand why foreigners don't like Trump, right? Because America's now standing up to all these countries around the world ripping us off. But I don't understand why an American would be anti-Trump. Fascist. What is President Trump doing that's he just was elected again. What's he doing that's fascist? No, that's not true, Stephen. Not true. Not true at all. This is iced tea and lemonade mixed. Well, whatever. And Arnold Palmer. That's exactly right, Roman. And Arnold Palmer, which is a very good drink. Arnold Palmer, the golfer, tea and lemonade. It's a great mix. That's right. I get these every once in a while. But she hit him with both hands. I mean, that's... And you can see, as soon as he saw that it got caught on camera, oh my goodness. No, there's no vodka in it, no. Non-alcoholic. Now, if you're new to my channel, this is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure that you subscribe. Well, I don't know how you could govern a major when the world has seen you abused by your wife like that. Right? Who should run in 2028? Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Fake felonies, corrupt judges. Yeah, exactly. Trump ended food stamps? No, he did not. Trump's not cutting Medicaid. Does Trump deserve any criticism at all? No. You understand, the Never-Trumpers shot him in Butler, and then they try to do it again at the golf course to stop him from what he's doing right now. Right? I saw a post on X from Dan Bongino. He said they're reopening the cocaine at the White House case. But the Secret Service or the FBI, when they did that investigation a couple years ago, said they found partial DNA on the baggie of cocaine found at the White House. But my recollection is that they destroyed the cocaine in that case and the baggie. They destroyed the evidence, so there's no evidence. So I don't know how far that investigation is going to get. But at least he's investigating something. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, that would not have been my first investigation. Would it have been your first? The cocaine, where the evidence has been destroyed? No. That would not have been mine at all. I saw the quartering was, he had a couple guests on sharing their disappointment in Bongino. Exactly. You know, that should not be the first investigation. There's a lot of other investigations they should have gotten into. Not this one, because first of all, the evidence has been destroyed. Right? The cocaine has been destroyed by the FBI or the Secret Service. So they got no evidence. So how are they going to get to the bottom of anything if the evidence has been destroyed? There's other things they could investigate. Proof of what? I followed the news. It was reported that they destroyed the cocaine and the baggie when they completed their fake investigation. Plus, Hunter's been pardoned. So even if they had his DNA and fingerprints and video of him with it, they couldn't do anything. Welcome from the UK. Yeah, that would not have been the one I would have gone after. No way. Yeah, the pipe bomb, that would be a big one. That'd be a big one. Absolutely. The spying on Trump Tower. That would be another one. There's many. My first one would be Fanny in Fulton County with that fake charges she brought. That would be the one I'd go after. Fanny. Fulton County, Georgia. That'd be my first one. We already got Letitia, okay, on the mortgage fraud. She's going to go to prison. Letitia James is going to prison. Yeah. Oh, her boyfriend will turn against her. I promise you, he will turn against her. Her gigolo boyfriend. What's the crime? The crime is she's involved in a criminal RICO conspiracy with the federal government illegally coordinating fake prosecutions against Trump. Her gigolo boyfriend met at least, was it twice at the White House with White House counsel. There was a whole network. It was the White House, Fulton County, Letitia, Jack Smith, all working together to try to get charges against Trump nationwide. Bragg too. So that's illegal. RICO. In fact, she committed, like Letitia, went after Trump on the property value. CR just gifted 5 memberships. There go the people: Jason, Michael, Jeff. You've all been the winners of memberships. Awesome. Thank you for doing that. Letitia went after Trump for her crimes, right? Mortgage fraud. And Fanny, she went after Trump on her crimes. RICO. It's crazy. They do the crime and then they charge Trump with the crimes they're committing that he hasn't committed. So, but Letitia's definitely going to jail. Oh, yeah. But Fanny, she won't break. She's very arrogant, very entitled. But her boyfriend, her gigolo boyfriend will. That's right. Bad people go to prison. I would not be investigating the case with no evidence, the cocaine in the White House. It's weak. Very weak. Make sure you subscribe, guys. If you're new, this is where MAGA comes to talk. Tomorrow morning, I'll be back in the studio. I'll be at the radio station tomorrow, taking live calls in the morning. No, Trump should not go to prison. Trump has done no crime. He is he's been a political prisoner. That's exactly right. They shot him. They arrested him. They convicted him on fake charges by corrupt judges. They sued him. They tried to shoot him again. It's crazy. Crazy. We've had not enough of Trump. We have not had enough of Trump. You can amend the Constitution. Yes, happy Memorial Day. Well, he didn't commit a sexual assault. If you remember, she didn't even know what year it happened. Oh, yeah, he's the best president for sure. By far. No one even comes close. No one even comes close. Like, if instead of this cocaine thing, I'd like to see Bongino investigate the judge. In fact, I take that back. Fanny would not be my first. Judge Mershon. Remember Judge Mershon with the fake felony convictions? He's the one whose daughter raised $100 million from Democrats on the promise of putting Trump in prison. Judge Mershon is who Bongino should be investigating, not the cocaine in the White House where the evidence was destroyed by the Secret Service and the FBI 2 years ago. That's not going to go anywhere. Mershon would be my first. If I could only do one at a time, that would be the first one I'd go after, if I were Bongino. Yeah. And that's one that's easy because Judge Mershon, the daughter raised $100 million from Democrats, and he kept seats open in the courtroom so that his daughter could bring in clients, donors, into the courtroom and watch Trump on trial. So basically, they were selling seats to the trial. That guy's so dirty. And that seems like a pretty easy one for them to get. Not the cocaine in the White House, where there's no evidence because it's been destroyed. Now, again, if you're new, make sure you subscribe, guys. Trump is not corrupt. There's zero corruption with Trump. Believe me. If there was, that's what they would go after. They wouldn't be trying to shoot him in Butler. You know, I saw when President Trump was speaking at Arlington National Cemetery today, he made a reference to Butler, and I saw he got emotional. You could see it. That changed him in a very positive way. You know, he doesn't care about the left. He's not, or the media anymore. He doesn't care. The plane is a gift to the United States, not to President Trump. I think you're about 2 weeks behind on the news. Plus, that Qatar plane deal, that was actually started and brokered by the Biden administration. Defund NPR, that sounds like a very good idea. Very good idea. I'll agree with that one. Well, thank you, Dale Leathers. He says he always enjoys my videos. Thank you very much. No corruption. Now, Biden, on the other hand, that's as corrupt as the day is long. The Clintons, all of them. Oh, yeah. No, things are, you don't have to worry. Oh, and this other thing they're trying to push is that the Senate's going to stop the big, beautiful. They're not going to stop the big, beautiful bill. It is going to pass. This is how all the bills work. That's why I tell you, you don't want to follow it at this point. This is how it works. The House passes the bill. They send the bill to the Senate. The Senate makes a whole bunch of changes on every bill, no matter what it is. Then they vote on it. Then it goes back to the House. And then the House votes on it, and then they get together for this thing called reconciliation, where the Senate and the House get together, and they come up on the final bill. This is how it always goes. Okay, there's nothing wrong. There's no worries about the big beautiful bill. It's gonna pass. Don't worry about it. Trump's got this like he has everything else. You never have to worry with Trump as your president ever. I don't know what BS you're talking about. No BS from Trump. No, Trump is not a criminal, Roger. No, he is not a criminal. MAGA for life, Dale. Absolutely. Well, listen, guys, I'm going to run. Make sure you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I'm Brian. See you next time. Take care.